It's a beautiful Valentine's Day, and I hope everyone is spending it very well with the ones you love. And on a beautiful day today, like Valentine's Day, we have some sexy news that we could talk about, and it's that of Kotobukiya and their Bishoujo line that they've had for many, many years, and now them finally dipping their toe in that of the Transformer world. Now, Kotobukiya has had a limited history with Transformers. They've done other stuff with Hasbro, but we'll get into that in a moment. But in terms of Kotobukiya and what they've been doing with Transformers has always been very, unsuccessful. Kotobukiya is known for their high-end statues, PVC statues, and their model kits. And in 2015, they did some Transformer model kits. It was part of their D-Style line, which is, I guess, aesthetically, the best way to explain it is similar to the Nendoroids that we're getting today. They were SD-style kind of model kits that you had to build, and they had interchangeable pieces and parts and articulation, and amazingly kind of went under the radar for a lot of people. A lot of people didn't buy them, and within the 1 year that they had the license of Transformers, they put out an Optimus Prime, a Megatron, and then a Starscream, and then did the necessary repaints from those of Seeker Jets and Black Convoys. It died within that year of 2015. They looked really nice, though. I never got to mess with them, oddly enough. They literally just came and went quickly. Now, the Bishoujo line has been around since 2014. And what that line consists of is that they were 1:7 scale PVC statues, unarticulated, usually depending between 8 and 9 inches, depending on the character and the pose, or if it has a stand that it's on or something. And these were always done in a very sexy kind of style, anime style of different franchises. Now, how this all came about was there was a anime character designer by the name of Shunya Yamashita, and he worked on an anime called Dai Shogun back in 2014. And through working on Dai Shogun, he ended up getting the gig at Kotobukiya to work on some of the very first Bishoujo statues. And they were all sexy versions of horror characters, or Marvel characters, or DC characters, or fighting game characters like Tekken or Street Fighter, and they found ridiculous success. Ridiculous success. They were selling hand over fist, and that was back in 2014. They would continue on to do more Marvel, more Street Fighter characters, more Tekken characters, more DC characters, all kinds of sexy versions of horror characters, which is very bizarre for a lot of people. But the big turning point was in mid to late 2019 when they signed a licensing deal with Hasbro. And between that of essentially July and August of 2019, they planned the release of 2 separate Hasbro items, some G.I. Joe Bishoujos and My Little Pony. So their very first ones was a Bishoujo Scarlet and a Bishoujo Twilight Sparkle. The My Little Pony character now turned into a human character and given a more anime, sexy kind of look to it, while still having the pony present on the statuette to kind of convey which character this is supposed to be. And those 2 initial releases sold ridiculously well. Ridiculously well. You could criticize them all you want for their aesthetic, but there is a huge audience that was buying these. So much so that the My Little Pony community was buying these hand over fist, and there was a new My Little Pony Bishoujo statue every second month since 2019. And as of this recording, there is 13 different statues of the My Little Pony, whether it be Rarity, Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy, Applejack, Pinkie Pie, I'm going off the top of my head, Princess Luna was another, Princess Celestia. They did a ton of them. I think Sunset also got one too. And they did convention exclusives and limited run repaints, was selling hand over fist. And afterwards they did G.I. Joe ones, and those were selling hand over fist. A new one every 3 months. Scarlet, Baroness, Lady J, the second Snake Eyes of Don Marino. Like, they were doing all kinds of variants too, repaints. It printed money. And now it was time, I guess, in 2022, just as Wonderfest was ending, Kotobukiya was not present, but they did an online kind of convention reveal to reveal their brand new Transformers Bishoujo product. And it was that of a Bishoujo Optimus Prime and a Bishoujo Megatron, based off of their Generation 1 incarnations. And let me tell you something, I'm pretty impressed with what I see. Looks really, really good, but I didn't expect any less from Shuya and his work that he's done in the past with all the other brands that they've done. A lot of those brands that I really enjoy, too. So I appreciate the aesthetic and style that is applied here. The Optimus Prime, going with the kind of short hot pants, the boots, the jacket, the Matrix of Leadership necklace, the goggles to make kind of his head crest. I like how in order to achieve kind of his side antennas, they do the Princess Leia buns. There's so much little fine details here that exude the G1 design. And then in order to kind of achieve the trailer concept, have her holding a suitcase that looks like the G1 trailer with the wheels on it. Looks fantastic. I like it a lot. And then the Megatron, I guess we'll call it the Empress Megatron in this case, instead of Emperor of Destruction. The war bonnet, the short skirt, pencil skirt as it's called, thigh-high boots, the jacket, the giant cannon that's now like a bazooka. Again, taking all those fine aesthetics that exist on the original Generation 1 design and turning it into what would have been, in a lot of ways, sexy cosplay that we've seen many times in the past at many conventions of humanized versions of Transformer characters. This is fantastic. It's going to sell ridiculously well. And you know there's going to be repaints here. They're going to obviously do probably a Nemesis or Black Convoy from the Optimus, maybe a Megaplex from the Megatron, or even a Black Diaclone version maybe. But it's going to do ridiculously well, these, and they will sell ridiculously well. And I don't, there's already been some criticism within the fandom that this is stupid. But you know what, guys? Let me tell you something, okay? My Little Pony has had this for well over 2.5 years now with no complaints, and it's selling ridiculously. And if the My Little Pony community could be, I guess, mature about this, then we got to really look in the mirror if the My Little Pony community could deal with this and we can't, okay? I think this is great. Again, this stuff sells ridiculously well, so there is a market for it, and it's something that could fit in with your Farai model kit Windblade when that comes out, because it's going to have that kind of aesthetic. And you know that when this does sell well, there probably will be more characters. We probably will see RC and some of the female characters or Elita 1 fall into the mix. And who knows, again, some of those gender bent, as they call it, male characters into these humanized female characters. Probably a hot rod at some point. Who knows? But at the end of the day, these will do well. They look fantastic. There's a strong market for it, and Hasbro clearly sees a lot of potential here because they already saw the rampant success that they had with both My Little Pony and G.I. Joe with this. Let me know what you think. Who would you like to see next done? And we'll have, hopefully at some point, a release, like a pre-order date and stuff like that, because they still have a lot of their My Little Pony stuff is still not even out yet. It's still meeting pre-order dates and stuff like that. The average retail, because we don't have a price yet, but the average retail for these are usually between $110 and $150. But the $150 ones are usually the much more larger, extravagant ones. I'm thinking these ones, based on previous stuff that they've done in the past with the other brands, I'm thinking that more 110, 115, 120 region. That's what I'm thinking. But that's just my take. Let me know what you think, guys. These look great, and I hope to see more of these in the future, because there's different stuff for different strokes, for different folks, for different Transformer fans.